Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello dear friends, welcome back to Spiritism and the Media here on Kardec Radio. Today I brought another book from Emmanuel. The name of the book is Confia e Segue, or Trust and Go Ahead. It has not been translated into English yet, so I had this translation here by myself, so excuse me for any kind of mistakes. And the name of the chapter is Use and Do Not Abuse. So the idea here is I'd like to bring that chapter and this concept of use and do not abuse for us to think about how we use the words and how can we avoid abusing the words and this power, this gift, and all this talent that God gave to us. So let's see what Emmanuel has to talk to us. And just a reminder, it's from Emmanuel, channeled by Francisco Cândido Xavier. So Emmanuel says, someone has said that God created man by offering them the tools with which they can build by themselves the path of evolution. These features are those that we all have when on earth in order to realize our individual improvement and undertake the conquest of our own happiness. So I will just stop here just a little bit for us to think, okay, we have all these tools for us to improve, for us to go through our path here on earth, to evolve, and the word is also one of those tools that we have, how we use the word. So God gave that to us, this ability to use the word in order to communicate. So it's a tool that we have for us to evolve. So that's very important for us to keep that in our mind. So every time we use the words in our daily lives, we must remember that it's something that God gave to us. So it's something that is from God, and that is something that we should use in order to evolve and to help the ones around us as well to evolve. And he says, use and do not abuse. Similar concessions are the symbolic levers that are necessary for our balance. Let's resort to the living teachings of nature. The man has the plow for preparing the soil, not to invest against the existence of others. He has the aid of scissors in order to cut constructively and not to hurt anyone. The same is true to the physical body that serves us in the world for temporary housing. So here Emmanuel is giving us many examples that we have, all the tools and all the gifts that God gives to us for us to use it in order to help us and to help others, and not to use it against others, because those tools can also be used as weapons. And it's up to us to know and to choose how we are going to use the tools that we have. And he says, the creature enjoys the mental energies in order to create the good, not to plan the bad. They have the voice mechanism in order to speak by educating and building, not to provoke disturbance and suffering in other people's path. So here is the key point that I would like to bring to us. So let's read it again. So we have the voice mechanism in order to speak by educating and building, not to provoke disturbance and suffering in other people's path. So let's be very careful when we use our words, because many times you can do that on purpose. We know that we are hurting others, but many times we are also hurting others without knowing that. So it's very important for us to double check what we write, to double check the way we act, to double check how we talk to others, how we speak in public, for example, to really understand if we are doing that in order to help others, in order to work with Jesus here in this vineyard, or if we are doing that only in a selfish way, like hurting others to take advantage from them, or in any kind of vengeance against the ones that hurt us in the past, for example. But let's be careful how we do that, because God didn't give us this ability to use our voice, to use the words in order to hurt anyone. But it's up to us. We have our free will. So it's up to us to know how we do that and to know that we can always have and take the best choice in our lives. So he goes and says, they hold the prodigy of the eyes to see and discern, not in order to search the debris and bitterness that may show up on someone else's road. So again, here when talking about media, how we are watching things around us, how we are consuming that media, is in order for us to acquire knowledge, is in order for us to acquire information, or we're doing that in order to point out the mistakes from others. So it's also something different here. So the same way that we can speak in a way to hurt others, we can receive what others say in order to hurt them. No matter if we keep that to ourselves, like judging them in our minds, we know that with our minds, with our thoughts, we are also creating those waves that can be hurtful to others. And Emmanuel keeps here saying, they, like we, have the stomach as an assistant for their own support, not to fill it with unnecessary food, establishing imbalances in the organic field. All possibilities of existence are granted or lent by God to the human person, enabling them to promote the solution of their own needs, but not setting it up to harm anyone's interests and feelings. In summary, the Creator establishes the means of lifting to assist everyone in terrestrial school learning. So everyone here is here, everyone, like we are all here on earth in order to learn. So let's learn and try not to hurt the others, not to do bad unto others, but to do unto others what we'd like them to do unto ourselves, as Jesus taught us. For this reason, using the concessions from the Lord or abusing them means a problem pertinent to each one. Choices are options. Certainly for that reason, summarizing the laws of the universe that govern us everywhere, the information of divine origins affirms that in the paths of life, each one of us will be given according to our own work. So the more we use the gifts that we have in order to do good, more will be given to us. So let's try always to keep that in mind so we can use all the tools that God gave or lent us in order to do His work, in order to do the work that Jesus wants us to do here on earth. And as I usually do, I read a passage, an uplifting passage from the book Happy Life, from Joana de Angelis, channeled by Divaldo Franco, and it's number 22. Jealousy in your behavior is a sign of imbalance. Jealousy can never be the salt that seasons love. Insecurity and mistrust are the manifestation of jealousy. When it takes root in a relationship, it causes nightmares and harmful perturbations. Overcome your jealousy, loving with tranquility and trusting in peace. If your loved ones doesn't live up to your expectations, move on. It is his or her loss. Thank you so much for your company. May God be with all of us, and see you next week.